Virgos, hello. So excited to sit with you, as always. And there's a lot of energy around Virgo this month, and I like that. It's a little nervous, it's a little high strung, I'll admit, but in a mostly good way, because we have, the notes that were coming up for me. It's hungry for everything, lots of conversations, lots of exchange of ideas. And then near the end of the month, it's going to be a time to digest all of that rapid movement, moving around energy. And so I see you guys having a lot of conversations. I see you having a lot of downloads. I see you having these big moments of clarity with people and really being hungry for the next thing. Really feeling ready for the next stage to be here now. And partially, I say that partially because, your ruling planet is doing some really interesting things this month. Mercury is going to be opposing a Mars retrograde in Aquarius at the beginning of the month. Wow. Queen of Pentacles just fell on the floor in front of me. Hi, Virgo. How's it going? Sweet. And then Mercury is going to be squaring Jupiter. Ooh, star. See what I'm saying? There's a lot of movement. Squaring Jupiter and Scorpio, and Jupiter is also retrograde. So you're having your planet, your ruling planet is having these conversations with retrograde planets and these intense aspects. And then, of course, Jupiter is going to be going direct in your third house in Scorpio on the 10th, which is going to reopen this whole ability to communicate again. So there's a back and forth going on here. And, the other thing to keep in mind, as I was about to start talking about the eclipses, and we are heading into eclipse season here, and there's 2 eclipses this month, and the first one is the Cancer new moon on the 13th. So Cancer for you, 11th house, friendships, your bigger collective of energy is going to get a bit of an assessment. It's a partial solar eclipse. We're not really going to be seeing this anywhere. Most places in the world aren't going to be seeing it, but we will be feeling the effects of that kind of reset energy. So you're slowing down, you're looking at those friendships, you're looking at your community around you, you're looking at how you're communicating your visions and your goals. And the end of the month is really interesting because your ruling planet is going retrograde on the 26th in Leo in your 12th house, and that's going all the way to August 19th. And then the next day we are having the big event, I think really the biggest event of the month in many ways, which is the Aquarius full moon and that's a total lunar eclipse. And of course, with the Aquarius full moon in your 6th house of how you're taking care of your body and your physical space is going to slow you down. Not only is that happening, but your ruling planet is retrograde in your 12th house. You can see how this 12th, 6th house shake up, but that's where I'm saying that's where you're going to be wanting to digest whatever big conversations you're having at the beginning of the month, because they're going to open up a whole bunch of things for you. They're going to open up a whole bunch of possibilities, a whole bunch of roads, a whole bunch of truths that you need and you want and you're ready to hear and you want to express. Queen of Wands at the very end. You want to express all those energies, and then there's going to be a time for you here with the very tail end of the month to just take it in. Whenever we get into 12th house energy, the sign right before you, it's a deep and powerful bond that those energies have together. And for you, Leo, you slow down, you look inside, you take a moment to breathe through that. So let's look at these cards because it's a really interesting combination of energies. You have a lot of shifting going on. Like I was saying, with Mercury doing this whole dance in July and with the eclipses, we're all feeling a lot of shifting pieces, rearranging our reality basically. And you're one of those. And you're one of the energies this month I'm noticing that is very eager to actively take a role in creating the next thing and being very much involved, hands-on, communicative about what you want that to look like. So it's kind of cool because There's so much energy around you. So let's look at the first 4 cards. These first 4 cards are really going to be about the month leading into the first half of the month, leading into and through the Cancer new moon and that eclipse, that first eclipse we're having for this season. And here we go. We have the Queen of Pentacles, the Star, the 8 of Cups, and the 9 of Wands. You can kind of see the intensity to this, I think. We start with you being, here you are knowing your value, which is fantastic. I think if you want to start big dialogues and big changes and you want to get in there and you want to get to the heart of things and start manifesting, you can't go wrong knowing your center point, your value, and knowing what exactly that looks like. And that is the Queen of Pentacles, absolutely. She's very powerful. She knows her worth. She knows how to take care of herself. So take that with you first, because you are getting into some really interesting territory here. Okay, the Star. So the Star is always really interesting, and it makes so much sense that she comes up with these two. I always say the Star is a fantastic card. It's a beautiful energy. When it shows up, it's an infusion of that expansive mindset. It's time to expand. It's time to explore. It's time to look out over the horizon and really get in there, right? But with that energy. So you're going to be seeing and conversing about where you're going to take this journey next. A lot of you are going to possibly be getting into committed relationships, or committing to a big project, or committing to moving, or committing to, even just thinking about 2019. Quite honestly, there's an energy here of you getting that commitment. And I just remembered as well, Venus is going into your sign on the 13th, I believe, along with this new moon. And there's going to be this infusion of this beautiful, expansive energy where you're kind of going to be able to get previews of where you want to take your journey next. The Star also demands that you do things outside of your comfort zone and push past what's the known set of circumstances around you right now. This is not a time to think small. It's time to think big. And the Star almost always demands the 8 of Cups. I have to say, I love the 8 of Cups. There's a lot of movement here. To me, this is a traveling card. This is a card of change and travel and expansion. You are asked to leave something behind that is no longer serving you, that is holding you or weighing you down. And I have to say, with this eclipse going on and this new moon going on in Cancer, your 11th house of, your community and your bigger vision is one of the bigger vision energies for you. Along with Venus coming in and infusing this kind of buoyant, hopeful beauty to your energy on that day, you're going to really be noticing what's holding you down, and you're going to be willing to let it go. I think some of these conversations, like hungry for everything, was the first thing I wrote about, Virgo, when I sat with your energy. And I think there is a hunger for the change. There is a hunger for the shift. There is a hunger for that move. There is a hunger for that releasing. Like, you are so ready to do this. And all that it leads to is this abundance, right? And I don't know. Everybody is going to be different as far as what they feel they need to let go of, what they feel they need to release. Some of you, maybe it is a friendship or a partnership that's just not working for you anymore. Maybe it is a work situation or a housing situation. All of these things can be coming up with this energy, but I see you going very far with it. It's what you want. You are ready for it. You are raring to go. It's that kind of energy with you guys. It's so funny because it's like if somebody called you up and said, okay, we got your plane ticket, we have your new house, we have this whole new life that you could be living, you'd be like, great. You just pack a bag and go. You really have your mutable energy is alight this month. But what's interesting here, you're so ready to go. There is that pause though, right? 9 of Wands is very reflective of all the experiences you've had, where you've been hurt, where you've been lost, where you've had to fight your way through something, where you felt misunderstood. And the desire, when you get the 9 of Wands, it's that slow down of looking back at things that maybe scared you, hurt you, and your old wounds, and you can't let that stop you. The other thing I would say with this energy showing up, there's a lot of looking back and releasing going on. And I do have the sense that all of these hungry conversations, all these really deep, connected things coming up the first half of this month, they do bring up a little bit of reflection, a little bit of looking back, a little bit of taking that breath and saying, yeah, I'm ready. But what a powerful thing. I mean, what I love about it is, yeah, you're looking back. Yeah, you're having some deep conversations, but it's all with the intent of building the new. It's all with the intent of taking it to the next stage. Like, you're just ready. And whoever's going to come with you on this journey, maybe an Aquarian, maybe another earth sign, whoever's going to come with you on this journey has to be ready too. And that's one of the things I'm seeing here. It's like this very clear look. I want people in my life. I want to go on these journeys, but you have to be ready and you have to be able to come with me. Otherwise, what are we doing, right? There's a lot of that energy around Virgo. Little truth tellers this month, I'm telling you, man. So that should be entertaining. I have my moon in Virgo, so this is also affecting me. I'm like, what am I going to be saying this month to people? Okay. What's really interesting about all of this is the next 4 cards, which speak to the second half of the month and speak to what this Aquarian full moon is going to be doing, and the eclipse, and what this Mercury retrograde is going to be bringing up for you, and how it's going to kind of lead into this 12th house prep season before your birthday season. So we have the 10 of Swords, the Queen of Cups, the 8 of Pentacles, and the Queen of Wands. And, you know, I've been really noticing that the first half of July is pretty clear, pretty direct, very vision focused for everybody. And the second half of this month is extremely complex. It is a month of noticing the aspects that are really working for you and expanding, and noticing where you have like old wounds that it's tempting to almost let those be your guide. And some of that I see here, though, with you guys. What I'm noticing with the complexity of the second half of this month and the complexity of being in eclipse season and we're opening it up is that you're done with something. 10 of Swords to me is a beautiful card. It's when you are fully and completely free and done with something energetically. It can be about burnout. It can be about exhaustion. It can be about feeling that you were misunderstood or left out in the cold. Absolutely. Yeah, it can feel a little lonely, a little isolating. However, a lot of times what I feel with this one is it's that sense of relief, like, oh, thank goodness, I can just let this go. I don't have to overanalyze it anymore. I don't have to spend 100 hours in my head writing it up and figuring it out and getting the puzzle pieces and getting it all sorted into a nice, tidy, understandable narrative. You know, you can just drop that. Some of the things that are coming up for you this month, I'm noticing, is that, you know, normally you guys do, you want to have a tidy narrative. You want to look back and you want to account for everything and say, this is why it made sense and this is how it goes. And yes, I think you will be getting some of that. Okay, it makes sense why these things played out the way that they did. However, with the 10 of Swords energy, the other thing that's saying is you don't need to worry about why all the time. In fact, what you need to be doing is just direct your focus towards this richer, fuller horizon that is all around you. And that's where these other queens and this 8 of Wands or 8 of Pentacles comes in. Cancer new moon is bringing in your intuitive guidance. And you guys are actually extremely intuitive beings. Yes, you have sharp minds and you're able to get things done in the material world, and you're very practical and you can move quickly on things. You're great people to have in your corner. If you want somebody to get things done and show up and do it well and be able to multitask, that's great. But you guys also have this other side, which is your ability to be extremely intuitive and flow with that knowing. And I think you have been relying, you know, it's easy to rely on our natural skill set, the one that we can apply in the real world. One of the things I'm noticing with the complexity of this month and with these conversations you're going to be having and with who you're drawing in, which, you have a lot of energies around you. You have all these queens around you. You have all these travel cards and these ending of energetic cycles and these opening of new ones. You're going to be wanting to use your more intuitive approach to things. You're not going to get every answer out of every person, every conversation. You're going to be really hungry for it. You're going to want to sit down and just hash it out. Like, let's just take an hour and get it all figured out. This is how it's going to work. But the people around you aren't going to actually be doing that. Everybody else is kind of doing, there's a lot of things going on. So Virgos, you're one of the more clear-sighted ones this month, where you get where you're dropping things and where you're opening things. Not everybody has that though. So the energies around you are willing to sit with you. They want to talk with you. They want to work through things. They want to get answers, but they're also doing their own process. So part of what you have to do is click in with your intuition, right? There's a lot of timing going on here too. At the end of the month, as we hit Leo season, as we get into your 12th house, actually, it's interesting. One of the notes that's coming up for me that I came up for Leo as well is this. When you get into 12th house energy, this is a time to get your energetic house in order. This is the time to get everything swept, tidied up, organized, and put in order. If you have old thought patterns that are holding you, if you have old ways of seeing yourself and your value, or ways of seeing other people, you want to sweep that out and you want to get into a very mellow space, because when your birthday season comes in, I think a lot of the things you're asking for this month in your conversations are going to start showing up. But you want to be prepared for them. And you can't allow something in unless you are prepared and you are in the flow and you are in the receptive. And that's actually what's interesting. These queens are all about the receptive mode. They're all about timing and psychic intuition. They're all about slowing down and watching and paying attention. And you have this very industrious Eight of Pentacles card in the middle, right? Which is all about getting your vision in order, doing the work, showing up. Yes. But where is that work being done? Where is the key work being done? It's not being done in the practical. It's being done in the spiritual and the psychic and the emotional. So one of the things I will say about this month, and I think we have this conversation a lot, I think you're going to be industrious. I think you're going to be very busy. I think you're going to be having a lot of conversations, making a lot of changes, preparing to move houses, preparing to change jobs, preparing to commit to relationships and really expand past into some new territory. All that's happening. But underneath the surface, with the eclipse action, with the Mercury retrograde starting at the end of the month, with Jupiter going direct in your third house, there's a lot of these spiritual, and then us getting into the 12th house with you guys. Your most effective modality is going to be in getting everything swept up and closing anything out that's not working for you, not worrying about reconciling it in the narrative, but moving forward. That's what I will say. Okay, let's pull one more card for the overarching message for July, for my Virgos out there, from my Cosmic Tarot. I'm really loving this deck. It's extremely poetic and sometimes graphic, but I like the energy it brings with it. It's a little bit of a different flavor, and I like closing out with this. So, wow, Princess of Wands. Okay, it's really interesting. You've gotten a lot of queens. You've gotten a lot of divine feminine energy. And the last two cards, we have Queen of Wands, Princess of Wands. I don't know, some of you seem to have some Leo energy in your life. People who are affecting you that have a lot of this fire energy. I mean, you also have, the Star, which is Aquarius, and you have the Queen of Cups, which is very Piscean, and the Queen of Pentacles, which is very much yours, but you get these two fire energies at the end. Partially, this is telling me Leo season is going to be epic for you. It is going to be a very crucial time for you to just get in alignment. Also, though, I think some of you do have fire energies in your life. And those fire energies are people you want to take with you to the next thing. And part of what I'm kind of seeing here in the way this is playing out is the dialogues you're going to be having are about how to make that happen. How to make that happen. Are they ready to come with you? What will that look like? Where do you have to let go? Where can you embrace more? I'm getting like butterflies in my stomach as I say this, because there's some kind of clarity coming in when it comes to that specific relationship. So I can see the pressure being put on you, and I can see the pressure you put on other people. No offense. there's a lot of pressure because everybody wants to move forward. Everybody's eager and excited, and then that can sometimes get us into this very excited energy. So with that being said, I'm going to close it out there. It's a very powerful month. Take deep breaths. Take care of yourselves. That's just what's needed in July this year because it's powerful, it's profound, and extremely, extremely psychic energy. So keep that in mind. I just got like shivers all the way down when I said that for you guys. Okay. Come follow me on Instagram at the SARAHTAROT. I love to see you there. I'm going to be planning on doing more energetic check-ins and more things like that so you can kind of see what's going on energetically. Also, check me out at my website or via email. I'll leave all of that in the description box. I will be doing recorded readings for August. And then I will also be scheduling live readings again at the end of August and into September. Virgo season is going to be great. So for those of you who want birthday readings, I would love to set one up for you in late August and early September. Also, I'm sitting here with my PinkLune jewelry, 15% off for all my lovelies out there. Go check her out. Leave that in the description box. And I'm sitting here with Jill Sand's artwork. We have the Cancer painting here, as well as this beautiful geometric work. I could just stare at this all day. I will leave her website below. She's doing prints of these gorgeous zodiac paintings, so go check her out. I will see you guys in August for the lead-in to Virgo season. I'm so excited. I love you all, and have a beautiful July.